How does it not happen that he goes to the Lakers?
He doesn't get help. I mean, that's what's – and I've been texting with people about that this morning. That's what's so interesting about these next couple of weeks is that you have the two parts of this question in terms of where he's going to go. You have market and organization. That's in one category. And then you have help. And if this was a power rankings on market and organization right now, I feel like it's the Lakers by a long shot. And that's where all the buzz is. That's where it seems that he has a really strong interest in landing there. But I guarantee you he's not going to land there if he doesn't have a roster that he looks at and says, you know, the Warriors are going to sweep me again when I see him in the playoffs. I mean, why would you subject yourself to that and not even have the silver lining like he has in the East of still getting to the finals and having this incredible streak that he's had? So this is where all the other names come into play. What's Paul George doing? What's Chris Paul doing? Guys of that nature. He's got to get help. So I don't know what that looks like yet.
Paul George has to end up there, I would think. If he doesn't get Paul George, now what happens first, though? Because does Paul George wait for LeBron? Is LeBron waiting for Paul George? What's Chris Paul? Is he waiting to get a 5-year deal in Houston? And if he doesn't, then he's more likely to relocate back to Los Angeles? How does it dominoes fall here, Sam?
So, Dan, for the last one, the Chris Paul one, I think, you know, you're hitting the nail on the head. If Chris isn't getting 5 in Houston, he's probably not going to be a happy camper because by all accounts, the fact that the Clippers didn't put 5 on the table a year ago is what prompted the move to Houston in the first place. But that's where it gets tricky because there's, you know, folks who say, all right, but if LeBron's going to wind up in Houston with Chris, then it'll probably take some sort of pay cut on Chris's behalf, which people don't know how to reconcile that with the whole backstory. Like he didn't go there for a pay cut. Maybe it changes when it's your best friend. That's possible. We'll see. The other dominoes, you know, and again, smoke, it's the lying season when it comes to the draft and free agency. And so we have to sift through all of this stuff. But like, you know, the latest smoke on the Paul George front is a very reasonable chance that he winds up going back to OKC. And so I feel like his people, they're good enough at their jobs that they've got to already have a decent sense of what LeBron is thinking. And so I think that, you know, if this is where Paul's head and heart is at, and if he does end up going back to OKC, then the domino starts with him, and then LeBron has to respond to that. Unless, you know, then I guess the outlier would be if LeBron has some incredible scenario up his sleeve that he can't actually pitch to these guys until, you know, late June, and that changes the way they look at things, then who knows what happens from there. But a whole lot of moving parts.
Yeah, I wondered if he would just stay one more year in Cleveland and figure out what's happening with the Lakers. And, you know, I had people say that that's very unlikely. And I went, well, I mean, why not? You still have a roster that got you to the finals. You know, granted, Boston's going to be better. Philadelphia, a year more seasoning. What are the chances LeBron just goes, you know what? LA's it's not right. It's not what I want now.
Yeah, I mean, that's where, again, this whole thing is so compelling to me, is because I can definitely see that from a pragmatic standpoint. That would be the cautious play. You know, you just saw in the finals, you know, what you can accomplish with this group. And who knows if they can trade that number 8 pick for somebody, you know, some rumblings about C.J. McCollum, somebody like that, coming to help LeBron and convince him to stay. We all know you don't love the owner, and we get that, but you know, it's kind of like the devil you know being better than the one you don't. And if you don't have clarity on these other situations, you can go ahead and wait a year. The part of me that pushes back against that idea, as far as him maybe just opting in and staying one more year in Cleveland, is just the mood of the moment. I mean, having covered the finals and been around that organization and those people, it feels like it's over. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, who knows? Yeah, again, once he goes home and talks to his family and they're comfortable and their kids are doing well, and we all know Bronny is coming up as a big-time basketball prospect. So, but in the moment, in the finals, and this is, you know, even me leaning on other media members who are around that team every single day, I couldn't run into anybody who felt like LeBron was coming back.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.